Can anyone of you give captions of this slide? Yes? Caption of the slides. Caption, please. Any one of you, please.
It's a group of Indian currencies.
Group of
National
Indian currency.
economy.
Huh?
National economy.
How you link national economy? How?
Because there are money and there's Indian flag above it.
Very nice, very nice. Apurva, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, good, good. Before you, someone also told it. That's also correct, right? There's that like bad. It's really good. Like you linked it, huh? We are talking about economy. Okay. Next, 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 next,
RBI
next, next.
printing the coins and notes.
No, coins is not printing by RBI. Coins is not printing by RBI. Notes are printing by RBI. Okay, you can check it out. Coins, how in India, how coins are get framed. You can see it
Something
once. Okay.
it's there RBI below that coin something blue color.
Yeah, monetary everything is handled by RBI only. That's correct. Central Bank of India, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, please. Next PPT, please. Next slide, please. Next. Here you can see whatever we talked yesterday. Can anyone of you read it once, please?
Economics at a glance. Economics is a social science that studies how people interact with things of value, in particular the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Economics focuses on the behavior and interaction of the economic agents and how economies work.
See, exactly whatever I have discussed yesterday, it is summarized here. What is economics? Economics is the social science that studies how people interact with things or things of value, in particular, the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Economics focuses on the behavior and interaction of economic agent and how economic works. Someone has asked regarding finance and economics. Who was asking difference between finance and economics?
Sir, me,
Who,
sir.
who asked? Yeah, Ritvik, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here you can see, Ritvik, when we are talking about economics, we are talking about human interaction, we are talking about human behavior, how they behave with the resources, how they consume the resources. But once we are talking about finance, we are talking about money related with the bank, loan, insurance, share market. Specifically, we are into the money part, investment kind of things we are talking about. There no behavior is coming, but economics behavioral part is also a prime factor over there. Okay. Yeah, next PPT, please. Next slide, please. Next, yeah. Engineering economics. See, your is macroeconomics. I'll come to that macroeconomics. I'll come to that. Okay. But being an engineer, you are studying economics. You should know what is engineering economics also. Engineering economics, previously known as engineering economy, is a subset of economics concerned with the use and application of economic principle in the analysis of engineering decision. What are kind of various engineering decision? Any idea? Being an engineer, you guys should know this. Like what can be the engineering based decision? Can anyone of you tell? Can anyone of you tell, please?
Sir, once again, can you ask, sir?
Yeah, I'm asking, right, Ritik. Acha, Vignesh, huh? Vignesh, like in engineering, for example, after completion of your what it call graduation, you become an engineer. What kind of engineering based decision you have to take at your workplace?
12 funds.
Uh-huh.
12 fund.
What?
Like it's on what you are asking exactly, we are not getting, sir. Can you give an example?
See, for example, you guys are from which EC department, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in EC department, EC
Sir.
department based project, can you tell me, for example, you become engineer from the EC background, what kind of project you may work out? What kind of project you may initiate?
Uh, Designing chips, manufacturing of chips.
Manufacturing of chips, huh?
Chips, sir.
Yes.
Integrated
Chips.
circuit.
Semiconductor
Okay,
chips.
okay. Chips that in what it call sometime we use in many what it call what in booster in this kind of instrument we get jet chip, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what kind of engineering decision require over there?
Which company chip we have to consider? Like,
Which
Cost
is
of
more
making the product.
economical for the thing, which is more much cheaper and which is more viable for the like,
So if you are going to manufacture, for example, if you join any company which make chips, so you have joined, what kind of decision you may have to take?
like, uh,
You have to
sir.
take decision regarding the price even.
Yes, sir.
You have to take decision whether that chips making business will become profitable or not, that particular chips. What is this? This is engineering based decision.
On
The decision you have to take.
budget, sir.
Right?
Budget.
Yeah, there is differences in I think disturbance in voice. Okay. Next, as a discipline, it is focused on the branch of economics known as microeconomics. In that, it studies the behavior of individual and firms in making decision regarding the allocation of limited resources. Here it's talking about microeconomics. I am not touching now micro and macro. Later I will touch because slowly I have to take you to macroeconomics, not micro. Next slide, please. Engineers seek solution to problems, and the economic viability of each potential solution is normally considered along with the technical aspects. Fundamentally, engineering economics involves formulating, estimating, and evaluating the economic outcomes when alternatives to accomplish a defined purpose are available. Next slide, please. Why economics, right? Varun, Varun, can you move to the next slide, please? Vignesh, can you hear me, Vignesh? Okay, here. Types of economics. When we are talking about economics, we majorly
I can hear
find
you.
two types of economics. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay. When we are talking about economics, we majorly get two types of economics. One is called macroeconomics, another is called microeconomics. You guys are going to read macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? We have to know. This is the introduction of your subject. You guys are going to read macroeconomics, which is a part of economics. There are two divisions, micro and macro. Remember one thing. Once we are talking about macroeconomics, it's talking about broader concept. Normally in microeconomics, we are talking about family's income, individual income. Okay? In macroeconomics, we are talking about national income. We are not talking about individual income. We are not, sometimes we are talking about a demand which is industry wise demand. We are not talking about individual wise demand. Macroeconomics is larger concept which basically deal with, you know, broader aspect. Let's talk about national income. Let's talk about employment. Let's talk about unemployment of a country. Right? So macroeconomics is giving focus in whole, whereas microeconomics is giving focus in individual aspect. Right? Please go to the next PPT, please. Here you can see the differences. Microeconomics versus macroeconomics. Microeconomics is talking about individual markets, effect on price of a good, individual labor market, individual consumer behavior, supply of good. It's talking about individual aspect. It's talking about individuals. For example, demand of particular XYZ good for an individual employee, individual person. Whereas macroeconomics, it's talking about as a whole. For example, income of a country, not income of a family. If I am talking about income of an individual, income of a family, that's become micro, small. Micro means small. Macro means broader. Macro means we are talking about whole, not a single, not an individual. In macroeconomics, is talk about whole economy, GDP. What is full form of GDP? Any idea what is full form of GDP?
Gross
What is the
domestic
full,
product.
huh?
Gross domestic product.
Very good, very good, very good. Inflation. It's talking about inflation of a country. Employment, unemployment. It's talking about unemployment of a country as well as unemployment and employment of a country. For example, we used to see the data. Employment rate has gone down. Why? Because that time there can be many reasons that employments are not there. So there are reasons you can see less number of employment. This is the subject matter of macroeconomics. Whereas if you see even employment is increasing, this is also subject matter of macroeconomics. So macroeconomics is talking about whole, not individual. For example, if I am talking about in what it call micro level, I may talk about employment of an individual at a home. But when I am talking about uh, employment at a macro level means particular state, particular district, particular country, in a broader aspect I am taking, right? Aggregate demand. In microeconomics, I am talking like Varun is not taking tea, for example. Varun has no demand for tea. But in macroeconomics, I am talking whole EC department students having demand for coffee. As a whole, I am taking. I am not taking an individual. That's become macroeconomic subject matter. Productivity capacity of economy. For example, if I state-wise I take productivity of particular state, let's talk about Telangana in particular 2020, 2021. We are talking about productivity during that year, productivity in terms of agricultural product, any other transaction, any other business. We are talking as a whole. Let's become matter of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is broader concept. Remember it. And you guys are going to read macroeconomics. In macroeconomics, you guys will read what it called national income, gross domestic product. You guys will read, inflation. You guys will we'll talk about depreciation. Many things we'll cover in macroeconomics, because macroeconomics is going to deal countries' economy, countries' matter which are related to the economics. But in microeconomics, which is known as a small, we are not going to read that microeconomics, because your syllabus is based on macroeconomics. But still, some terminology I am going to study for your understanding. Okay? Yeah, please go to the next slide, please. See, these are some related terminologies we used to get in economics, and these are very important. One is competitive market. What is competitive market? Any idea what is competitive market?
The
Market in which
oppositors or the
many
other
companies or
competition,
manufacturers are
the field,
there.
the other business.
Okay, now I
So
am giving you.
basically,
Yeah. Please tell.
sir, prices are demanded, prices are set by the competition there is in the market. So if two firms manufacture similar products, so if firm A sells it for 10 rupees and firm B sells it for 8 rupees, so then everybody will go and buy from firm B because of less prices. So basically here in competitive markets, similar firms manufacture similar products, and depending on the price, the market demand shifts from different firms.
Very
So
correct.
that's
Very
what
correct. Very
happens.
correct. In competitive market, similar kinds of products will be available, and similar kinds of products will be, manufactured by number of companies, right? There will be huge similar number of, kind of company. Their producers. Let's talk about mobile company. Samsung, Realme, many companies are there. Mobile market is competitive market, right? In competitive market, we are assuming this demand is same. Demand will remain the same. That's why even if you change the price, you will lose only, that's all. That's why you can see in competitive market, price are not changing much. Okay. Monopoly market. What is monopoly market?
A single company has a larger stake. I mean, in terms of sales.
Okay. Any example?
ITC had in tobacco, 80%.
What about Indian Railway?
Yeah, Indian Railway could be that. Okay.
That too. And Nestle in kids formula, it has 90%
Yeah.
share.
And earlier BSNL was also having, monopoly. Do you agree?
Yeah, in telecom sector, definitely.
Yeah, in telecom sector. In flight sector also, one company had monopoly. Can anyone of you tell?
Air India.
Air India, very correct. Who is this?
Asfan, sir.
Absolutely. Then what happened with the monopoly of Indian, Indian Airlines? What happened with the monopoly of that?
Private companies entered the sector, sir.
Yeah, government of India promoted private sectors also, right? And because of that, that monopoly has gone. Now, in Indian scenario, there another travel mood, monopoly, kind of market is there, and debate is still going on. Which sector, which part, which sector, which transportation sector?
In telecommunication sector, sir.
No. I'm talking about transportation. One transportation mode is there, and still debate is going on.
RTC.
For privatization. Yes.
TSRTC.
Yeah, Indian Railway, right? Lots of discussions are going on. whether it should be
Yes,
made.
sir, about privatization of Indian Railways.
Yeah,
They were
privatization is
planning
going
to
on.
sell 50% of the rights.
Yeah. Many debate is going on. Many debate is going on whether it will become private or not. Even earlier government of India was not that much what it call open-minded regarding the privatization of the institutes, private of the medicals. But if you see, as time has gone, there nowadays numbers of colleges, numbers of universities operating in India, both in private mode and as well as what it call in public mode. Universities is there. So monopoly power has gone. Basically, when we are talking about monopoly power, in monopoly market or monopoly power means only maybe one or two sellers of that particular product. We can talk about Indian Railway. In railway sector, they are the only one. If monopoly power is there, consumers having no influence on price. Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
How? Anybody can explain it?
They are the only ones, so they only fix the prices. And since there is no competition, what they say we have to agree. If not, they won't accept us.
Yes, you don't have any bargaining power.
Yes.
We are increasing. If you have capacity, come, otherwise go. Because if you don't come, no problem, others are waiting.
The same goes with quality.
Same goes with the quality even. Even in job market, you guys are from NIT, you guys are lucky. If you go to the job market, can you believe like that in the market, engineers are working in 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 rupees jobs. Those who are from local engineering colleges. Do you know that? Do you know that? Why reason is,
Yes, sir, I know, sir.
so numbers of engineers are coming. Because of private colleges, it's become very easy to get an engineering degree. Even with happening with the MBA people also, they are working with 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. Why? Because we don't have bargaining power. If you don't work, no problem. Others are waiting. This is the reality happening. Because of private colleges, numbers of engineers, numbers of MBAs are there. And that's why we being a job seeker, we are not having that capacity, that bargaining power. And it's lying with that, what it called company. They're having that bargaining power. You don't have. We'll give 15,000. That's okay. If you come, then come. Otherwise, go. Others are waiting in the queue. Next, what is demand? Any idea what is demand? Yes. What is demand? What is demand? Any idea what is demand?
Sir, need of some
Uh-huh.
need.
Okay. Who is speaking? Who is speaking?
Shakil.
अच्छा शकील मैं
Yes.
कहता हूँ एक इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट अभी पढ़ रहा है कहता है BMW चाहिए
Yeah.
आप किस में डिफाइन करेंगे
That's a demand of the MW by a student, like by a
हाँ
graduate.
अच्छा अब डिमांड के मतलब मैं वही कह रहा हूँ हम जनरल कह रहे हैं ना ये मेरा डिमांड है
Yes.
मैं इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ आप भी इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं पढ़ रहे XYZ स्टूडेंट इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं पढ़ रहे इन जनरल मैं कहता हूँ मेरा डिमांड है ये इन जनरल ओके बट जब एक इंजीनियर एक इकोनॉमिक्स का बंदा कहता है कि मुझे BMW चाहिए मुझे लेना है तब जाके इसको हम डिमांड कहेंगे जब इनको पे करने का कैपेसिटी होगा यू गॉट माय पॉइंट
Yes, sir.
हम डिमांड तभी कहेंगे जब हमारे पास उसको लेने के लिए कैपेसिटी होगा इट शुड बी बैक्ड बाय पेइंग कैपेसिटी if you want to do something if you want to purchase something then only we can say demand when you are having that capacity to buy it अदरवाइज वो तो आपका वांट हो जाएगा मेरा वांट हो जाएगा मुझे BMW चाहिए मुझे मर्सिडीज चाहिए मुझे XYZ चाहिए दिस बिकम वांट ओनली जरूरत है बस मैं चाहता हूं बट डिमांड तभी होगा वंस आई कैन पे द अमाउंट आई डू हैव दैट बैक to buy something which I want, then only I can set demand in economics. Is it clear? Is it
Yes, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now coming to the supply. What is supply?
So it's like similar to demand at a given price level. How much are firms willing to manufacture and supply to the market? The quantity of that goods and services that is
Okay,
supplied at a given price level.
yeah, available of the goods and services, right? In simple word, we can say available of goods and services. And in economics words, whatever you have defined, that is the actual definition of supply. Am I right? Yeah, I think in
Yes,
5 minutes it's going to be disconnected. Next class onwards, I will see how I can, make it for 1 hour. We'll see in next class. So in between, it may disconnect at any time. So Varun, you can take attendance. Okay, you can keep the record of attendance. Okay. Then market equilibrium. What is market equilibrium? What is market equilibrium?
So
Sir,
when
when demand is equal to
Supply equals to demand.
Sir, sometimes inflations happen, no, sir. Again, to control and to balance that.
Okay,
To
okay.
maintain
That's
and
very
demand and
technical.
supply.
That's very technical. We'll come in inflation part. That's very, very technical. Now, let's go in easy format. Okay. So, market equilibrium, when I say uh, there is, 100 demand, 100 units demand, pen, for example, we are talking about pen. 100 pens unit demand in the market. Supply is also 100, availability of that 100 is there. For example, you went to any shop and you said, I need this 100 colors pen. And he said, I have only 100. This 100. It means demand and supply equal. That's become market equilibrium. Is it clear now? Like this way, for example, population of that particular city, 10,000, and that 10,000 people need 10 quintal rice per day, and there is 10 quintal rice every day, supply is there, means demand and supply is equal. That's become market equilibrium. Am I audible to you guys? Hello? Am
Yes,
I
sir,
audible to you
Yes,
guys?
sir.
you're audible.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Next slide, please. What is there in the next slide? Okay. All definitions are given here. A competitive market is one where there are numerous producers that compete with another in hopes to provide goods and services as consumer want and need. In other words, not one single producer can dictate the market. Large number of sellers. Go to the next, please. Monopoly, a market structure characterized by single selling a unique product in the market. In a monopoly market, the seller has no competition as he is the sole seller of goods with no close substitute. Yeah, next. Demand is an economic principle referring to a consumer's desire to purchase goods and services and willingness to pay a price for specific goods and services. Next, please. Supply. The term supply means total amount of goods and service available in the market for consumer. See, this is very easily defined. Then market equilibrium, the point where supply and demand curve intersect, represent the market clearing of market equilibrium price. An increase in demand shifts the demand curve to the right. The curves intersect at a higher price and consumers pay more for the product. Okay, so this is market equilibrium. Varun, yeah, Varun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what it called? You just forward this PPT to your all batchmate, huh?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Economic system we'll discuss in next class. Actually, next I'm thinking to start national income from your first topic of the unit. These all lecture was like background of macroeconomics, background of your subject study. Okay. Next onwards, I'm trying to catch up with the what it call first topic, the national income. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Go to the next. Go to the next PPT once, please. Is there any PPT over there? Types of economic system. Yes. In next class, I'll discuss all this. I think types and format of market. Okay. Acha, one thing. Can you tell me what is mixed economy? Mixed economy. Any idea what is mixed economy?
Socialist and capitalist both systems, sir. Like
Who
India.
is this?
So
Who is
basically,
speaking?
even